It's simple, really. Great stories with a good cup of tea. It's the Tea with Mike show. On this episode of the Tea with Mike show, Joel van der Molen joins me from London. The tea fact for the episode is peppermint is a popular flavouring of tea due to its clean, pleasant smell and taste. And drinking peppermint tea can also help freshen your breath. And this comes from medicalnewstoday.com. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and enjoy. Alright guys, welcome to another episode of the Tea with Mike show. Joining me for this one from London in the United Kingdom is Joel. Welcome to Tea with Mike, Joel.
Hi, and I've got my balloon as well with me. Hello.
Fantastic. I must say it's nice to talk to a fellow Englishman and to have some conversation and a cup of tea.
Yes, definitely. You know, I have my tea here, following my dreams. Where is it about you? You were from Yorkshire, is that correct?
North Yorkshire. So
North Yorkshire.
Yes, spent my time near Richmond, North Yorkshire. Obviously, lots of history and theatre.
Fantastic history of theatre. Same here, as you know.
Right. No, it's a beautiful part of the world. Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Georgian Theatre?
Georgian theatre? Can't say I have, but it sounds familiar. I'm having a theatre background, but no, I used to pass through North Yorkshire, heading towards the Lake District.
Oh, nice.
I remember being there when I was like a teenager or something, always doing these walks, the coast to coast walk.
I never did it. I know lots of people that did.
Yeah, I didn't really do it. I just did parts of it, but not the 2-week thing. I think that would have, I'd have started to get upset with all that walking around. Oh my God, another mountain. Like Mountain Time that you're on.
Exactly.
That was fun, wasn't it? Getting confused with the Mountain Time and the UK time.
I know. Too many different time zones in the world. Can you imagine if it was universal? I don't think that would work though.
Yeah, that could be universal time. Well, we're all traveling through time and space at an incredible rate on this rock, this minuscule rock. But hey, we're all having fun, no matter what time it is.
Exactly. Tea time. There's always time for tea. Anyway, all right. So do you want to start by telling everyone, first off, where you call home and then a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, I was born in the southeast of England. I grew up in a middle-class family, which was all fun and games. Very fortunate upbringing. No excuse for pain though that it goes on within everybody. But I was very fortunate and played a lot of tennis. Became with some of the top in the UK before deciding that I love acting, and that's what I really want to do. However, life pushes you around. So whereas inside of you that you have this feeling and you want to express who you are, life pushed me around, and I ended up becoming a people pleaser and doing things that other people valued. So I would go and become live that kind of normal life and go in search of, the life, the business, the house, the car, the marriage, the daughter. And this plays out in, of course, Living My Illusion, which is the multi-award documentary, which we can get onto. But it is that living my illusion. Instead of connecting to the now, connecting to you, connecting to the magnificence of you. Oh, I just name dropped again. That's terrible. That's the second documentary. But what I'm saying is because I've learned that, I've come through that. I could see we can join the dots looking back. Looking forward, it's not so easy. But when you look back, you can see how you have been doing things, and I could see that I'd been doing things to please others. When we're born into this world, it's like we're given a checklist, and we go along and we're ticking off that checklist.
Very much so.
But is it serving our soul?
No.
Is it who we think we are? And we create these illusions of who we believe we should be. And then we say, And then we say that we are this much money a year. We say that this is our job. We live here. I have this car. I have this life. But inside, there is a feeling, and I believe that every single person is born a genius. And I believe that we've all got a gift to give. But that gift slowly diminishes and diminishes the older we get. But when we were kids, when we were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, we didn't care what people thought about us. We were living from that place of in to out. So it's only when we grow up, we learn these kind of behaviors. And I certainly learned to be worrying about what other people think of me. And that is, I've heard it being said, the greatest prison that we live in is the fear of what other people think of us. So even when you know, people say, oh, I don't care what anyone thinks about me. Well, actually, they do. Even if you go to post, even sometimes I post videos on Facebook sometimes. And even when I go to post it, it's like, oh, what will people think of me if I post that? And, you know, I had this new saying. It's like, just do it anyway. You got to learn. You know, you got to make mistakes. You got to screw up, you know, because that's the fun. You see, if you try to be a perfectionist and you do that, perfection is in the imperfection. So now I've learned in my 42 young years, it's taken me that long. Had I done it sooner, maybe life would have been different. But it's to learn to not really care what other people think about what I'm doing, or how I act, or the way I behave, and then so I can be more connect with who I am. And this has been this year is certainly a year I will never forget, not because of what's the chaos outside, but because of the control and looking inside that it's offered to me. And I'm probably had one of the best years of my life so far because of that.
Awesome. We'll get to that in a little bit. So first off, I want to know how you got started in playing tennis.
Right. Well, yeah, that was a fun thing, because my dad always watched tennis when I was younger. And so I thought, oh, okay, I'll be like Boris Becker, or, you know, I can easily win Wimbledon. Why not? So from the age of 6, I just started playing, hitting a ball against the kitchen window and breaking one or two. And then I started having tennis lessons at the age of 6 or 7. And then I started winning these mini tournaments, and I've still got the mini trophies and things like that for short tennis. And then as I progressed, I became very good, and, like, you know, even termed a British hopeful.
Oh, wow.
But that's not really, like, you know, I don't understand why, even though tennis was maybe invented here, we never seem to produce quality tennis players. And I did start, and I was playing, and one of a great friend of mine, he was the UK #1, and I used to play with him all the time when I was about 14. And he went on to do it. He loved the game.
Who was it?
This is William Muirhead, so he'll probably like me saying hi to him. He's in Australia now. He's
oh, cool.
You know, still playing tennis. Yeah, so I would play a lot of tennis, and I loved it. But then things started to change, and it was the kind of I knew that I loved acting, and I started getting beaten by a lot of really good tennis players. So yeah, that was time. I sort of knew it was time to change channel.
Was it because you didn't enjoy losing, or it just didn't feel like an actual fit?
I actually enjoy playing tennis more now than I did then, because I was so competitive and I broke so many rackets on the court. I mean, John McEnroe would be proud of me. But so I would smash a lot of tennis rackets and just get upset. I you know, and that was something I had to learn to channel. A lot of tennis players do that, but they learn to channel it. Federer is someone I truly admire for being able to keep that inner calm. They're all very good at it, but Federer is truly a master in many aspects that I watch, and I can just see how he's a great person to learn from. He's someone who's truly connected to who he is, perhaps, and is here and loves what he does, loves the game. So yeah, definitely a fan of him.
And so when you were playing tennis, and then obviously you started developing an interest in acting, and then you also had to obviously education and school. Was it difficult in your early life to fit all these different things in?
I got out of school quite a lot because of tennis. So it was like, oh, I got to take another day off school because I've got a tennis tournament. Sorry. And a lot of the time I was playing for the school as well.
Right.
So, I could just get out of lessons. It was great. But I always wanted to be an actor. I think from the age of 5, I remember thinking I wanted to be so many different things. I wanted to be a farmer, an astronaut, a tennis player. I wanted to be so many different things. And I remember thinking, what profession gets to do everything? And I said, it's an actor. An actor can be everything.
Right.
So yeah, I knew at the age of 5, but life pushes you in many different directions. But I just became that because I wanted to do that. Then loads of different opportunities started presenting themselves when it came to acting throughout my school life. And I wanted to go to drama school at the age of 11, but my parents remember them saying to me I would grow out of it. And then I took a year out, went to Australia at the age of 18, and I was still like, I really know I want to go to drama school. So I did. I went to one of the top in the UK, in London, which was the Webber Douglas Academy of Dramatic Art. Fabulous school, great reputation, great teachers again. I always seem to have great teachers come along when the student's ready. And that's what's happened, certainly in drama. I had some wonderful, wonderful teachers that I will always remember. And it just reconfirmed that what I'm doing is true to who I am.
Fantastic. And then, so could you expand a little bit on some of these influences that you've had in terms of these teachers, on what lessons and maybe even skills you've learned from these, I'm presuming, professionals in the industry?
Yeah, I learned acting techniques, good communication techniques. And I believe that, certainly in the 21st century, we need business skills and people skills.
We need that more than ever.
Correct. And that, and that's what drama gives to people. But it's funny because when you go through school has a subject hierarchy of maths, English, dance, and drama.
Yes.
And even there's a hierarchy within the music, dance, and arts. So if you want to be an actor, you can live out your school life believing you're not very clever because you don't really want to focus on maths and English.
Right.
You want to be acting and creating.
So just to interject, like when I was in school, like my favorite subject by far was the theater and drama, and it was always a subject I enjoyed more than any of the others because I felt the most free. Right.
Yeah. You can express who you are, and I love that. So I would be very different on stage. I can get away with what I wanted on stage, and I loved that. I could be more me. I could be more in the moment. I believe what we're searching for is connection to the now. The more connected to the now we are, the more happier we are. And I have found that I used to find that in acting 100%. And also now in writing and producing and directing, and it's being in the now. So the lockdown had many benefits for me, many benefits. I'm always very grateful for things, for learning experiences and things that come my way that teach me and move me forward.
Awesome. So what was some kind of productions that you were involved with early on as an actor?
Oh, early on, I played a hamburger for Burger King. That was fun. And I played a pesto sauce for Jamie Oliver, who is a very famous chef in the UK. So we spent the evening with him. I actually found this video the other day, and I was like a pesto sauce, and I had to sit in the back of the car, and I was in trouble. And I was like,
"You have to send me that afterwards, because I mesmerized. This is a thing."
Yeah, I'll find the clip. I'll find the clip of me, acting with Jamie Oliver. I did a wonderful play in Edinburgh at the Edinburgh Festival.
Very
and that was, and I got great praise for that. But you see, yeah, I guess it didn't manifest. It wasn't paying the bills. So in my spare time when I was not acting, I would be waiting tables. I believe the certain cities like London and New York and LA probably have the most talented waiting staff on the planet.
Yes.
Because there's some great actors out there, and I just adore the profession, and I think they're all wonderful.
You actually bring up an interesting point. Like a lot of these restaurants and businesses could actually be using these talented individuals within their staff for like marketing and promotional campaigns around their website, and then obviously paying these people according to the project.
I mean, there could be an interesting a utilization of them for that industry, but I would be doing that, and until I I changed track at 18 and went into, I mean, not at 18, at 28, and I went into telecoms, which was, I was still doing auditions, but that's when my life started to change. And I became more normal, and I thought, okay, this is what I'm doing. And it was sort of following the path of my dad. Now, the thing is that I see that a lot of people become their parents unless they can break it. But if their parents are entrepreneurial, they tend to be entrepreneurial. If their parents have a job, then they program their children to have a job.
Which your parents are entrepreneurial, right?
Yeah, parents can be a child's worst enemy. I don't say that too often to my father, but not too often. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to embedding and indoctrinating their own beliefs, reality onto the child grows up believing that that's the thing to do, instead of being taught how to connect. We're not taught how to find self-love. We're not taught how to listen to our inner knowing. I found, certainly in my education, I never had any classes on connecting to my heart.
No, it's a really good class to have, because you have these standard career classes where if you say something out of the box, they almost shut you down. It's like, well, this isn't on page 2 of this book, It's
a very academic left brain system, and it has been for hundreds of years. And if you read like Robert Kiyosaki, who would talk about the outdated school system, there's no financial education to a degree. There's not, they may teach you how to write out a check, or at least they did me. And even business school, they're training you to be a manager, but there's nothing. I think if there was classes on how to become wealthy, I think I would have taken them all. So we are left to find out by ourselves, and it's our parents that maybe help that. My parents were very entrepreneurial, started and nurtured businesses. And that's where I do the same. And I believe in taking risks. I believe in going in search of what makes us excited, what gives us that feeling that it's about, or I believe it's all about finding what it is we love and doing that without fear of what you're risking. Because I believe if you're doing what you love, you're protected in any moment in time. If you trust in yourself, then it will work out for you. And if you really have this absolute trust, then you can do anything. And so I thought, well, if this is true, then what do I really want to do? I want to produce, direct, and create TV and films. I love that. It's not work for me. I'll be up until 4 in the morning, UK time, and just going to bed late and waking up early, excited. And I don't want to take a holiday. I love what I do. I mean, the past 6 days I've been working on this new TV pilot, which I created and wrote during lockdown. Got everyone together. We've got a huge crew and cast, and we're putting together something incredible. And it's not work for me.
No, it's fun.
It's just everything I've wanted to do, because I did that. Because I thought, okay, we may as well, if it's true, if you can have absolute trust and do what you love, and trust that you'll be protected and guided, then I'll do that. And don't worry, I've got fear. I wake up with the fear and anxiety. It's like, oh my God, who do I think I am writing this play? How am I getting all this together? Yeah, what am I going to film today? Oh my God. Yeah, I get that. I get that. But there's the other side to that, which is like, just do it anyway, because I'm human like anybody else is. And no one, I don't believe people really care about what about what I do. I think people care. There's a line I say in Living My Illusion. I say something like, we spend time worrying about what other people think about us, when all the time the people that we're worried about thinking about us are too busy worrying about what we think of them to be thinking about us. I said it. A difficult line, but our people are worried about what they think of us, to be too busy about anything else. So I just try to working on myself by having a life coach and working with these coaches. Really helps. I recommend it to anyone. You can reading books, attending seminars, online seminars as they've become. You get some real magical insight and questions answered for you that help you along. And I'm just sitting there. Sometimes Kyle Cease is someone I really love right now, who's for the past 5 years, his work has resonated with me, and I get it. And it's just like those aha moments that really help shift you to a new level of awareness about yourself and confidence.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of all that.
Awesome. And then just going back slightly to give some more context. So in 2009, you founded Vandacom, which was a telecommunications company. So can you tell us a little bit more about this company and why you decided to set it up?
I was working in a bar in a hotel, and I thought, wow, I've got to do something different. And what will that be? I could always see. I think we know intuitively what direction we're going to go in next. So I remember these guys coming into the hotel and talking about what they were doing, and I was listening, and I thought, oh, hang on a minute, that's interesting. Is that something I could do whilst going to auditions and playing a pesto sauce for Jamie Oliver? And as it turned, yeah. So this was my entry into the sales environment, because suddenly I realized that, oh, hang on a minute. So it started with mobile phones, and you could see that you would make a healthy amount of commission for a day's work compared to working in a bar all hours. So it made a lot of sense. I started with that. It didn't take me very long to work out that, okay, I can do this better by myself. Set up a company. My wife, Timia, stopped working at the hotel and joined me with that. And it became a great success. After 3 years, we built a business. But towards the end of it, we were doing all sorts of telecoms, broadband, phone systems, IT, helping businesses a lot to save money and improve the ways they are working. But my creativity kept knocking on the door, and then I started making phone tutorials and broadband troubleshooting videos. Oh. And then I'm getting millions of views on YouTube because every desk in the world now is started to have these phones that I do tutorials on. And yeah, you can check out my Vandacom channel if you need help with your phone system at work. Or if your broadband stops working, there's a line of videos like how to switch it on and off, but what the lights mean and everything else. So it was really designed to help people, but also to take the pressure off my support team and myself from dealing with all the customer queries, because it's so much easier to say, we're saying, how do I do this? How do that? Here's a 30-second video.
Yes.
So, but my creativity came through, and I started working with this production company. I then did an audio book, which reminded me of the acting and the talent I had, because I was doing the voiceover for the phone videos, and the production company I was working with, they said you have to record it. I was like, no, I'm not recording it. I wanted that guy to record them. They said, no, you know it. You know the phones. You do it. So that led on to this the audiobook recording, and then with this same production company, like a bolt of lightning, I was sitting with them, watching one of their documentaries that they had produced, and it was a time where I was thinking, what can I do? What can I do? I started working with a life coach who's in Living My Illusion, and this idea just struck me. I'm going to document my coaching journey, and I was just jumping up in the air, excited, and as Dean and Elliot from Ghost Pictures say, that it was the excitement that I had to want to document this that got them all excited. And so, that was the birth of what became Living My Illusion. And that was another big transition for me. The past 5 years have been major, because I moved from telecoms through a very interesting destroy and rebuild process of me and the business to find myself in the film world, which is truly where I wanted to be.
Interesting. And then, so what course, maybe soft or hard skills do you think you learned from running Vandercom, and how do you think you use those to help you transition into the acting?
I think acting always plays a big part, and drama school plays a big part because of, we said, communication and business skills are the skills of the 21st century. And that helped me in business a lot because it's all about communication. 20% it's 80% communication, 20% knowledge. But I had people around me who knew everything when it came to technology. But it was about communicating that in a way that would be that it would really help businesses. So that definite communication sort of helped. And then you learn all types of other business skills. You learn about people, and over 10 years of Vandercom, it was about managing people, managing people's expectations, managing employees, and dealing with problems. The most successful people are the biggest problem solvers. And everything has a solution, and then we would always find a solution to a problem. That's what it was. And in technology, you can always find problems.
Oh, always, 100%.
So it was interesting time. But then after I sold it, it wasn't something I wanted to do again. I had to listen to my body every time I may try to think about it. It's just no, my body just doesn't want to do it. And I was really at a difficult time last year, because I was doing all the film festivals and had huge success at all of these festivals around the world. And I thought, is this where I'm going? Is this where I'm going? I started filming The Magnificence of You, and I didn't know what that was going to be until the edit came out, and I nearly dropped the whole thing. But then I nearly dropped Living My Illusion as well. And I created this beautiful documentary, which you saw.
Right, exactly. And so was it, and that leads us nicely on to talking about it in a little bit more detail. So was it challenging during the creative process to, because obviously you were acting and you've been through the events in real life, was it challenging to portray the character in the movie and not to fictionalize it too much or overthink it?
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't want to put any spoilers out there for people who are going to watch this. It's only just finished, so where we take it, I don't know. It may be on people's screens by the end of the year, or 2021. But it was very interesting because I had to recall my whole experience of that relationship, and it was a time where it was very confusing, but it was very wonderful. I made the film with great respect to everybody involved. As I say in the film, or the film's tagline is, sometimes you never know you love someone until it becomes a memory. And sometimes it takes that to realize that. At that time I was very confused. I'd just come out of a long relationship, and thrown into this world, which was amazing. And but I turned it into a beautiful story and a lesson for people out there who, because we tend to, and again I speak from my own personal experience, create a mental understanding of why we're disconnecting from our heart. So we create this mental understanding of why this person is good for us. And so we stay with that person and we stay in this relationship. But meanwhile, we know inside that it's not right. But we still stay because we can go camping with them, or we're going to have, let's wait till after Christmas so that we can go somewhere. So yeah, we're constantly feeding our ego illusion because.
Yeah, which people can see on multiple occasions, like when they watch the documentary.
Oh yeah, I was completely feeding my ego's story, and meanwhile my heart was saying something different. And when the heart's saying something different, and we tend to silence that, and we silence it with distractions and addictions and a Netflix subscription. Escaping in the movie, believing that inner voice won't find us, but it does. We can, we can drown it with alcohol or choke it with cigarettes or even exhaust it with exercise, because, someone working out in the gym all night is still, what are they doing? What are they doing? Is it an addictive thing that's become to silence the inner knowing? But when when the truth comes out, we always feel that lift. We always feel that relief. And, it's that, and but I was expressing, what my heart was saying through what I did with Living My Illusion, Magnificence of You.
And did you ever have any doubts in the whole creative process? Like, why am I doing this? How are people going to react to this particular piece of work?
Well, yeah, we always have those inner voices. But the inner voice, okay, it's always there and it's going to be noisy, but it's not going to be noisy when you're doing what you love. Because when you do what you love, that voice becomes almost, it becomes so quiet, it's almost non-existent when you do what you love. But every day I would wake up, and we were filming this in different places. We filmed it in Cyprus and Bucharest in Romania. Wonderful place. I had no idea. People are saying, why are you going to Romania? Why are you going there? And I was like, well, I don't know myself, but I'm quite scared now. What's going on there that I should be aware of? But yeah, there were beautiful locations. And yeah, every day I would wake up and I think, oh my God, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do today? What are we going to film? What are we going to film? How are we going to get this? How are we going to get that? But then something would always happen when you trust. And we captured some real stunning work, and it's getting a lot of compliments already. So we'll see how it does, really, because you never know until you put it out there, and then people think, what an egotistical loser. Or they think that was really inspirational and amazing. So you always get two sides.
And so how did your family feel when they learned that you were creating this documentary?
Well, family normally is to choose the side of fear, but then we all do, and I do as well, is the natural default reaction is fear. How are you going to make money? What are you going to do? It's so competitive. Why you want to be an actor? What's wrong with you? Why can't you get a normal job? Be a doctor. Be a lawyer like your sister. Because people work from fear. And the other side of that is to work from trust. I think it was Jim Carrey who said, if you can go broke doing something you don't enjoy, you may as well take a chance on doing what you love. So I thought, well, okay, every sort of entrepreneur seems to go get into trouble every now and then. And I came within days within bankruptcy, but why not? That's all part of the journey. Perhaps every second is a lesson. So, I just did that, and then I was so pleased and delighted to finish it, and this kind of period allowed for that to happen.
Right. Awesome. And then so talking a little bit more broadly about your creative projects. I understand it's your vision that you want to be able to communicate through a creative medium to tell a story to others. Can you expand a little bit on that vision?
Yeah, it is. It's the idea of real stories, and I use myself as my as the example, because if I'm going through these pains, these feelings, these thoughts, these emotions, then there must be billions of people who suffer in silence, afraid to speak and honor their truth for the fear of what other people will think of them. So I have used myself as a, basically going on screen and being very, very honest about everything that I'm doing. And that's met with an egoic response, and that's met with people who are truly inspired by it to start their own journey. So that's where the idea comes from, and I created Vandercom Films to obviously continue to do that using myself, and it's grown to be more. What I do is I just follow my inspiration. I get these ideas, these sparks of. I think the most exciting thing we do is have an idea.
Yes.
And I would be out running because I started doing that again during the lockdown, and just suddenly get hit like this bolt of lightning, an idea, and I'd just run even faster so I could get home and tell a friend of mine this idea that I've had, and this was happening more and more and more, and I was just constantly going with that idea, these inspirational ideas. One was a new business, so I created this Vandercom Films, which is about documenting your memoirs in a beautiful film, or documenting your story in a beautiful film. So you may remember when you were younger, or when I was younger, I can remember sitting around the living room looking at old photo albums, and my parents and my grandparents would point out who these people are in the photo albums. And I remember feeling this was so exciting to see all these things and hear these stories that happened in the good old days, in the black and white pictures and the sepia photos that we're looking at, and who my grandfather was. And there's a picture of my dad as a baby, and there's a picture of my mum when she went to school. And you would see this and you'd go, wow. But when our parents or our grandparents are not there, those stories fade, because I can't retell the same stories my father's telling to me, to my daughter. So I came up with this idea of documenting memoirs. I'm actually filming one for my dad called, the next week we're doing this, it's called 80 Years in 80 Minutes, where he's going to take us through interviews and collected footage. He's telling the story of his life. It's that story that will be magic for me for years to come, and for my daughter, to have granddad tell the story of what happened in his life, and for my mum. So, and this is the idea of what Vandercom Films does for anybody who wants to do the same. Maybe a grandparent wants to leave that kind of a gift, give that beautiful gift to themselves to tell their own story, but also to pass on to past generations. I think it's just a beautiful idea. And again, this one came to me while I was sitting in the garden sunbathing. And
fantastic, yeah, and I can definitely relate, because I think storytelling is very important, and it's how the world was created, and knowledge was passed down through kind of generations. And that was one of my big reasons for starting the Tea with Mike show, because digital and technology are very useful and we need them, but they become so powerful and almost overwhelming that people have lost the ability to really hold conversations and learn more about other human beings because of all of the distractions.
Yeah, no. So I'm really can't wait to start that kind of documentary avenue of business, as well as filming what I'm filming right now, which is about the lockdown. It's called. I'm literally going back on set in a minute to film the final scene of this pilot episode for. It's a TV show called The New Normal. Episode 1 is Lockdown Madhouse, and it's about this guy who is obsessed with the conspiracy theories surrounding the virus, and he's got his own YouTube channel. He really wants to get out his version of what's happening to the world. But the other side of that is he's got this wife who is believing everything that's being said, really anxious about cleaning, and she thinks her cat's got coronavirus. And it plays out with a very balanced perspective of both sides, and it's really kind of real life, but it is a comedy as well, but got some dark undertones. So yeah, I'm filming that in a minute. They're going to be
Fantastic. So I'm curious to know, I think I may already know, but what is more important to you, the medium in which you tell the story or the story itself?
Everything starts with story. You can have great content. It doesn't matter if the production is bad, as long as the content and the message are delivered. Content is number one. You know, and if you've got that message to pass on to people, yeah, that's what I would say. But it's very nice to have, you know, all the glitz and glams. I mean, we're shooting on such incredible cameras now that I just couldn't believe it. It's just like a Hollywood film set that I've got here. Whereas other things have been much smaller, like Living My Illusion, but delivered a powerful message.
Yeah.
But I always look to deliver that message no matter what cameras I've got pointing at my face.
Okay. And then so you obviously also do a lot of public speaking. So do you find public speaking rewarding? And what do you hope to achieve every time you set out to speak to an audience?
You've seen a lot of my videos on Facebook, these type of things. So that's where the speaking roles come in, not so much now because of what's happening. It's more online stuff. So it's been more expressing that through the voiceovers and the mixing with the videos that people see on Facebook. I just love to get across the message to help people, to inspire people to start their own inner journey and go within. And I'm saying things that resonate with a lot of people, and I get incredible messages from people that saying that really helped me. I really needed to hear that. That was wonderful. And that's nice to hear. You can see these videos on my Facebook page at JoelVDM22. So yes, that's what speaking is. But really, it's going on stage as well. And that throughout my whole life has been something I just love. Love communicating to an audience, and if you can do that through power and the powerful inspiration, it's just combining the best things that I love, and it reaches a lot of people. And you know what? People can come away and they may hear one thing you say and it can change the direction of their life. That's very, very unique and special. So I love being able to do that, and speak the truth as well. I think we all are storytellers. We all have something to share. Yes. We all get inspired, and we have a gift to give, but we've got to give that gift.
Fantastic. And so, how do you create these opportunities to speak to all these different types of audiences? Did you have a couple of examples of two audiences?
I mean, I don't do many speaking gigs at the moment, but when I was, I've spoken on various different occasions, and obviously, but I just let the opportunities come to me. I go in search for certain things, but I again just allow things to happen. I think the more we allow, because when we chase for something, we're not ready for it. You know, if you want something badly, you're not ready. You're not ready for it, and you tend to push that away from you. If you allow things to happen and you allow opportunities to come to you, but you work from within. So everything I do is working from within. And again, I was at this inspirational moment of, this is what is going to go in my next talk. This is how I'm going to start my next talk. But also I like to not prepare when it comes to speaking.
You think if you're relaxed and you're happy, then these opportunities will kind of come naturally, and then it'll be more authentic. So you're gonna deliver something that's more impactful.
Yeah, more absolutely. Because if I went on stage and I learned my whole entire, there's nothing that people aren't going to see me. They're going to see a version of me that I want people to like me.
Right.
They're not going to see me, and therefore that misses the authenticity of what could come up in the moment. I didn't prepare everything that I'm going to say to you today. I'm just allowing it to come through. And I think it's going okay so far. But, if I had prepared and prepared and prepared, I'll be mentally going, oh my God, what am I going to say next? Oh, I better say this. People will like me if I say this, blah, 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 and drive myself crazy.
Right.
And I guess there's a lot of people who do learn lines and go on stage, and I did that in acting, but and learn it backwards and forwards and upside down and inside out and round and round. But isn't it better just to go on stage and see what happens and see what comes to you? Obviously, you've got to be prepared to know about what you're talking about.
Of course.
You know, I'm not going about to go on stage and, talk about something, talk about lighting, which I've got one bright light shining in front of me now, because that would be crazy of me. But I can talk about me, and people say, oh, but are you qualified? Everybody's qualified because we're human beings, because we live on this planet. That's a qualification in itself to talk about your own experiences.
Exactly. That's very true. Nice. And then so obviously we've established that you're very creative, very passionate. You live a very busy life doing things that make you happy. So like when the lights are on, what do you kind of do to de-wind and relax?
I create more ideas to film more things. It never stops. This is, as I said, it's, when you find what it is you love, and if you haven't found what it is you love, keep looking, because then you are really free from the chaos outside.
Right.
Nothing can really get to you. You can't be annoyed at the way that your sister's boyfriend spoke to you, because it's, it doesn't register. Nothing else comes between what you're doing, and worrying about what other people think of you, or did I upset that person? Oh, they upset me. So yeah, when you find what you love, you're not looking for something to take you away from that, because people will say, well, don't you rest? Don't you need a holiday? Not really, because what am I going to do? Sit there and have a massage and a spa and sit by a pool, and all the time I'll be thinking is like, why am I not filming? Why am I not writing? Why am I not doing? Because then that allows for the negative story to start playing in your mind. But when the negative story fades so far into the distance, it's almost non-existent when you're doing what you love, because you haven't got time for that voice. Right,
because there's always something else to do.
Yeah, so I don't really have. This is my hobby. Unless someone wants to play tennis. If you want to play tennis next time you're in the UK, Mike, then we can have a game of tennis. May have the cameras on us.
Oh. I played tennis the other day for like the first time in like 2 years, and it went okay, but you do need to be in shape to play tennis, and it's all about rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, I should be. Yeah, you got to be careful now, because I can't just go on the side and hit my hardest serve. It's going to hurt. So yeah, but it's certainly I think I enjoy it more now, tennis, because I probably still think I'm going to win Wimbledon, probably, when I hit a shot and I go, oh my God, I'm so good. Maybe I should take up tennis again at age 42 and go for the title.
but I think you enjoy it more because there's no expectation and the pressure's off. So it's just
maybe. Or I'm just better at it now.
Maybe that's true too.
Yeah. But I know. I mean, it's fun. So yes, we will put that in the diary to play when you arrive, when you hit down on UK soil. We will.
Awesome. And then so as we come to the end of our conversation today, is there a piece of advice that you'd like to leave the audience with? Something that you think could make a simple piece of advice that could make a real impact to someone struggling, especially with the crazy world that we live in right now?
When there's chaos outside, it's a reason to go inside. And I don't mean inside in terms of, in your house, but I mean to go into you and discover who you are, because I believe in meditation. The greatest gift we can give to ourselves is finding out who we are. And when you do that, you will transform your life, and amazing things will start to happen. When you finish watching Tea with Mike, you will have many choices, and you can make them out of love or fear. Choose love, and amazing things will start to happen in your life. If that's one thing I can leave you with, that would be that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Oh wait, what's your favorite type of tea?
What's my favorite type of
Tea.
heat? Who?
Tea.
Tea. Oh, I thought you said heat, and I'll say, well, that's the sun in Spain. But I had a tea in Cyprus, which was really fruity, and it was a herbal tea, and it was just stunning. That was my favorite tea, except I don't know its name, Mike. So, but because it was in Cypriot, but it was just like great. It was sweet and everything like that. My dad will drink 10, 12 cups of tea a day, the English breakfast tea.
Yeah.
But I tend to go for the herbal teas, the sweet teas. But that doesn't really answer the question because that's so broad.
No, that's fine because it's types of tea you like. I'm more like your dad. I like the Yorkshire tea and the good strong black tea with a incy bit of milk. That does me just nicely.
We're between games of tennis, when we sit down, we're doing tea in the 1 minute break that you get before they call time.
Yeah. We could even turn it into a documentary, tennis and tea. Yeah.
Brilliant.
There you go.
Brilliant. Tea and tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be great, Now you've given, that's another idea. Don't start me on ideas, because then I'll be like, right, film crew, right, wait, that's it. Let's do it on the tennis court. Yeah, now
awesome.
Something to put in the diary.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for spending some time with me today.
Thank you very much. I mean, I was looking forward to it, and I'm so glad that we had this opportunity. Now I'm just going to go and film the last scene of Lockdown Madhouse, because I know that they're waiting for me, and the light has gone because it is 9:30 in this country. So yeah, but thank you very much, and please look at Living My Illusion, livingmyillusion.com. Look out for the magnificence of you, and anybody's welcome to join me on all those platforms, but Facebook is the real main one where the videos are, and that's at JoelBDM22.
Awesome. We'll definitely tell people all about that, and we're going to let Joel get back to his film set. And thanks for watching this episode. Thanks,
amazing.
Joel.
Thank you so much, Mike. All the best.
It's the Tea with Mike show.